Welcome back to H4 Woodworks. In this week's episode of Tool Tuesday, my name is Randy. Today we're going to continue to follow on last week's video talking about routers. Last week we talked about compact routers, trim routers, palm routers, whatever way you want to talk them. Today we're going to talk about full size routers. In this case I have two routers in front of me. I have my older Bosch 1613 EVS router that I picked up in an estate sale about 2 years ago, along with that Porter cable trim router that I showed in the last video. This router has done me well for what I needed it for, some dado, some very extensive edge profiling that I needed to do on a project. But it's time to go. Basically, I can't even operate it right now. It doesn't even work. I've had some issues. Previous owner replaced the cable assembly with this longer extension cord, essentially, which has been nice. Don't get me wrong, it's been nice to have a longer cord, but the button was very intermittent. Sometimes I'd come out, some days it'd work, come out next day it would work. I changed the button out here and it's still not working right. A couple other issues. This little lock mechanism was kind of finicky, and the little stop down here for making micro adjustments just free spins, so it was kind of useless. But for what I paid for it as my first router, it done me well. A couple other things. The bottom base plate was this kind of plastic piece that the previous owner put on here, so I can't really do anything else with it either. So I was very limited on what I could do with this router, other than just some basic, learning how to use it. But I upgraded to this Dewalt router here, and we'll talk a little bit about comparison real quick. There's not much to compare, other than the fact that they are both 1 1/4 inch horsepower. 1 1/4 inch. 2 1/4 horsepower. Sorry, 2 1/4 horsepower on both. They're both variable speeds, although the variable speeds are different. And in this case, they are both right now sitting in a plunge base. This is a fixed plunge base router, so you can't just take the motor out and swap it out or do anything else with it. You're kind of stuck with what you see is what you get. But that's about it where the similarities stop. So we'll kind of just put this out of the way. Won't talk much more about it, and I'll get into more of this router here. So what we have here, we have my new router, which I picked up recently, is the Dewalt 613 2 1/4 horsepower router, variable speed, just like my trim router, and the same as this one. 8,000 RPM to 24,000 RPM. Nice thing about you get with this setup, you get the motor, which you can put in the various different bases I have here in front of me. Actually comes with both these bases. So when you get this router, you get the motor and you both get a plunge base and a fixed base. And I will add links down below in the description of the video on this particular router setup. And also you can put it in a router lift if you want to put it in your router table, which I haven't quite decided on what I want to do yet with that. But anyway, nice feature here. We'll talk a little bit about, so that's the router motor. It comes with this plunge base. This is the Dewalt DW6182 plunge base for this router. Nice smooth action, much smoother than the other. You've got your nice locking adjustments here for micro stability. Also, you can adjust this small thumb knob down here to give even more micro stop. So very nice here. Built-in dust collection. You can kind of see the hole here. Your dust here. Exits out here, so you can hook a dust hose adapter up. Very easy to change out. Just drop it right in and lock it with the same locking device in the back. So very nice. You don't want to use a plunge base and you want to go with more of a fixed base option. They also have the fixed base. Again, same setup. Not as good dust collection. You have to kind of rig up a dust collection. But it's of this micro stop collar, so you can, adjust up and down that way and give you your nice fixed space. Nice big handles to grab a hold of and keep steady when you're pushing. So that's nice. You get a wrench, and again, just like the other one, you have that kind of one-handed capability to lock it or change your collets or change your bits out, whereas on this one that you had to use 2 wrenches. So push a small button on the side, locks the shaft, and you can change your collets out. Now, real quick, while we're talking about collets, I'm going to talk about one issue I had with this router. One issue I've had with Dewalt. First time ever. When I got this router, it come with everything, and I was extremely happy. Except it was missing a very, very important part. Didn't have a collet. So, no collet came with this router. Looking back on Amazon reviews, seems to be a fairly common issue. So, just keep that in mind. When you go to buy this, it may or may not come with a collet. And also, one other thing I read about was a 1/4 inch collet that goes with this. Literally just slips inside of the 1/2 inch collet. So a lot of people are like, well, I got a 1/2 inch collet, but I don't have a 1/4 inch collet. Well, that collet just kind of slips inside. So I talked to them. I kind of went around with their customer service, and it's going to turn into more of a hassle for them just to send me a new piece. I went on Amazon literally the same day and picked up two collets for, I think they were about 20. I'll put the links below. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for each collet, but I have a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch collet, and they fit just perfectly fine. So nice, be able to screw it on, attach, and then like I said, you can lock it down. So I wanted both collets. This primarily will be a 1/2 inch. I'll keep my 1/2 inch collet here and my 1/4 inch collet on my trim router. But next project that I'm going to do, and that's the reason I'm not really going to do any demonstration of it today, because I have next week's project will be utilizing these routers for another tool that I have that honestly I got for Christmas like 2 years ago, and I've been trying to do with this router, and realize I keep throwing money at it and I can't even use it for that. So and I needed a 1/4 inch collet for that. So we'll talk more about that later next week. Let's talk a little bit about accessories that comes with it. We also talked about what the motor and the basis. So a couple other accessories that come with it. One, you get this larger acrylic plate if you wanted to replace this smaller plate here. So you can do that. It comes with a separate cord, so it's not corded hard line like this. You can unplug it and plug it in and separate cord separately. That's kind of convenient. You get some dust adapters, and these, again, depending on your type of dust mechanism or vacuum hose, so you can put those on there like such. I guess that doesn't do any good. Like that. Okay. So you can get your different adapters for your dust hoses. So that's nice. So you can do that. And then I also went ahead while I was on kind of, I guess, shopping spree per se. I went ahead and picked up the edge guide that goes with this router. And this is a Dewalt. Let's see here if it tells me. There it is. Dewalt 6913 Universal Edge Guide. And that allows, if you want to, does give you dust collection with this router, and allows you to set up and route, a good groove, straight groove, and keep everything lined up nice. But I picked up that. This comes with some longer arms for different routers and some set screws. So I'll link all the stuff that I have down below in the description. So if you want to go out and get it yourself, like I said, I have ran this router. I'm enjoying it so far. In the next video I'm going to do, we'll be reviewing a sign making kit, and I'm going to use this for that. So that's the reason I don't want to show anything here. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time. Thanks a lot.